I'm Luke Summerhaze, and I love Shroodle. Graffiti is one of the oldest art forms in human history. In fact, the very word originally comes from archaeology, and refers to images found scratched into the surface of ancient buildings. On every continent in the world, there are images of people and animals painted onto cliff faces and cave walls by our ancestors literally millennia ago. Modern street art is often seen as a crime, considered vandalism. Ironically, the same authorities which will mark someone a criminal for a political statement on one building will monetize for tourism the art of a famous street painter like Banksy. Personally, I find it very comforting to know that in every land and throughout every century, folks have drawn crude images and written childish jokes to let the world know we were here. Shroodle is the toxic mouse Pokémon, and is a little poison and normal type Pokémon which resembles a rodent or a large-eared lemur. It has a big round nose which makes it resemble the character drawn all over Europe during the Second World War, usually accompanied by the text, "Kilroy was here," one of the most famous and prevalent pieces of graffiti in history. Pokemon Scarlet tells us, though usually a mellow Pokemon, it will sink its sharp, poison-soaked front teeth into any that anger it, causing paralysis in the object of its ire. It's actually quite rare for mammals to be venomous, but the Iberian shrew, native to the region on which Paldea is based, is known for its bite, which is indeed known to paralyze prey. Pokemon Violet tells us, to keep enemies away from its territory, it paints markings around its nest, using a poisonous liquid that has an acrid odor. Other shrew species are known to mark their territory in this way, though they don't live near Spain, but in Madagascar. This might seem odd now, but will make a bit more sense soon enough. The name Shroodle combines shrew with doodle, referring to the graffiti images found on the trees near its main habitat, the tag tree thicket. The Japanese name, shirishru, is similar, with shirushi being the word for a mark or sign. At level 28, Shroodle evolves into the even more explicit graffiti artist, Grafaiai. Grafaiai is a monkey-like creature whose black and white fur is shaped so it appears like a hooded sweater and a breathing mask, such as an artist working with spray paint might wear. Its fingers are bright pink, and greenish slime drips from them, particularly from an especially long middle finger. This finger is typical of the Ai, a species of lemur native, like all lemurs, to Madagascar, which uses its one long finger to reach inside trees for bugs. Grafaiai instead uses this finger to paint. Pokemon Violet tells us, each Grafaiai paints its own individual pattern, and it will paint that same pattern over and over again throughout its life. Real-life lemurs are known to mark territory, though with scents rather than complex images. The trees in the tag tree thicket, which Grafaiai marks, are explicitly based on the Oma Forest, an outdoor art installation in the Basque region of Spain, created by artist Agustin Ibarola. Interestingly, these modern painted trees are located very close to a cave hosting some ancient paintings by the earliest human inhabitants of the area. Grafaiai is a perfect little trickster Pokemon, with its poisonous typing and abilities like Prankster or Poison Touch. Pokemon Scarlet tells us, the color of the poisonous saliva depends on what the Pokemon eats. Grafaiai covers its fingers with its saliva and draws patterns on trees in forests. This is somewhat similar to the slow lorist, the only known venomous primate, which mixes its saliva with venom to give itself a toxic bite. As I said earlier, lemurs are native to Madagascar, which is pretty far from Spain, but was a stopover for Portuguese sailors travelling to trade in India, and those Portuguese sailors brought the animals back to the royal family, which at the time happened to be one royal family ruling both Spain and Portugal. The name is a simple mix of graffiti and ai. The Japanese name, Tagingru, combines the ru from saru, the Japanese word for monkey, with tagging, the act of placing one's graffiti mark. This Pokemon is a genuinely ingenious mix of various different inspirations and references coming together to make something utterly unique, but still perfectly natural in the setting. It's a stellar bit of Pokemon design, and it makes perfect sense that this Pokemon was given the elaborate trailer treatment in the run-up to the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Music for Luke Loves Pokémon is composed by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. Writing, producing, and editing is all by me, Luke Summerhaze. Funding is provided by lovely listeners. If you'd like to help keep the lights on, or give your thanks, head over to patreon.com/podcastio-podcastius. There you can find links to the other shows my pals and I create, or for just $1 a month, listen to episodes as soon as we're done editing. I love hearing from you guys. A 5-star rating and review on your podcasting app of choice, or even better, telling a friend about the show, would always be much appreciated. Our next monsters are Bramblin and Toadschool. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about those or any other Pokemon on Twitter or Facebook at Luke Loves PKMN. Catch more Pokemon content at twitch.tv/LukeLovesPKMN, Friday nights from 8 PM UK time, or 9 PM once we're into summertime. And even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Shroodle, and remember, I love you too.